M as in Mary, O, S as in Sam, L-I-M-A-N-I. Thank you.
Are we ready to proceed?
Yes, Judge.
Yes. Please have your first witness step forward. Sir, please step forward. Give your name and spelling to the young lady that's over here.
First name Ron, last name Gressens, G-R-E-S-E-N-S.
G-R-E-S-E-N-S?
Correct.
Please raise your right hand, sir. You swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Thank you, sir. Please have a seat right there. There's a microphone that's to your left. Put that close to your mouth and speak directly into that for us, okay?
Okay.
You may begin when you're ready, Mr. Fairey.
Yes, sir, would you tell us your name, please?
My name is Ron Gressens.
And Mr. Gressens, what do you do for a living?
I'm involved in commercial property management.
And for whom do you work?
I work for Bedrock Real Estate Services.
And just basically, what are your duties with that business?
I am currently a senior property manager, so I'm involved in the day-to-day management of several of our properties, and I provide support for some property managers and what we call a parking manager.
All right. And there's a vast number of properties that you therefore must have either direct or indirect management responsibilities for.
That's correct.
And I'd like to know if you became aware in the course of your professional duties that one Frank Shepard Fairey was commissioned to place certain artwork on some of the buildings.
Well, I became aware that some murals...
I'm going to object to the word commission being used in the question. I'm going to object to the word commission, Judge. I think you can ask it in a different way. I think commissioned has numerous meanings. I would just ask that the prosecutor re-ask the question. I think it's vague.
Have no response, Mr. Becker?
There's nothing vague about that.
I had a fairly good understanding. What other connotations do you attach to it?
Your Honor, if he can speak to the fact that Mr. Fairey was commissioned, then he should be able to also tell the court in terms of what sort of commission Mr. Fairey received for coming to Bedrock. And if he's prepared to answer that question, then I have no problem with that question being asked.
Well, see if Mr. Baker wants to ask that question. If not, you'll have an opportunity to do a cross-examination.
Thank you, Judge.
I'll rule the objection. You may proceed.
My question again, did you become aware that one Shepard Fairey was commissioned to do or place certain artwork on some of the buildings that you manage?
I became aware that some murals were going to be installed.
All right.
It's my understanding that an artist by the name of Shepard Fairey was commissioned to be involved in the placement of this artwork.
And you had to become aware of that because you managed the property.
At some point, I became aware, correct.
Right. As a matter of fact, you communicated with the Detroit Police Department confirming that there was consent for this artwork to go up on your building.
I'll object, Judge. That's leading.
Sustained.
Did you communicate with the Detroit Police Department advising them that there was consent on the part of your
I'll
business?
object, Judge. That's still leading.
It's not leading. I'm asking him the question.
You can rephrase the question. It is suggesting the answer.
Well, did you communicate with the police department as to certain of your buildings?
Yeah.
I'll object, Judge. It's vague. It's over breadth.
I was contacted.
Did you communicate with the police department?
Yes.
What did you do? How did you communicate?
I received a phone call inquiring about artwork on some of our properties. And at one point, I confirmed via email that some murals went up with permission.
All right. What murals?
There was a mural installed on the back of One Campus Martius on the north facade. There was a mural installed in what is known as the Belt, which is the alley between the Z parking garage. And there was a mural or some artwork installed on 1505 Woodward.
I want to show you what I have marked as proposed exhibit number 1. Can you tell us if that is recognizable to you?
It appears to be an email that I sent to Miss Split with what I understand is the police department.
Okay. And you were, in that email, were you not advising Laura Split that there was consent for that
Judge, I'm going
work to
to
go up on those particular buildings?
I'm going to object, Judge. That's leading.
The document speaks for itself. I sustain the objection.
I'll read the email. I move for its admission.
Any objection?
No objection, Judge.
Right.
People's proposed exhibit
1.
1
Yeah.
received.
Would you read the email?
I am writing to confirm that Shepard Fairey was commissioned to complete the artwork murals on the north-facing facade of One Campus Martius, formerly known as the CompuWare Building, the 1505 Woodward Water Tower, and on the alley sides of the Z parking structure in an area known as the Belt. In parentheses, I put alley behind Punch Bowl Social between Grand River and Gratiot. My signature block is below, but there's nothing else in the email.
All right. And what is the date for that email?
May 22nd, 2015.
All right. On that date, had those pieces of artwork already gone up?
Judge, I'm going to object at this point to relevancy. He read the names of 2 particular real property spots. He gave their addresses. Neither one of these properties are charged into information. I don't know how this witness is relevant.
Overruled.
I'm sorry, if you could
All
say
right.
the question again.
You sent that email on the 22nd of May,
Correct.
and at that time, at the time you sent that email on May 22nd, were those pieces of artwork already up on the buildings?
I believe the artwork was complete at this time.
All right. Were you physically present when some of it was being put on?
I witnessed some from a distance.
Going up?
Yes.
All right. What was the time frame of that? How much before that date was it that you witnessed some of the artwork going up?
I don't know that.
Had no idea?
No, I don't. It would have been prior to this email, but I couldn't tell you the exact time frame.
All right. Was it within a week, 2 weeks? Can you narrow it down for us?
Objection, Judge. Asked and answered.
No, I'm asking him to narrow it down.
Overruled.
Was it a year before?
It would have been within a couple months of this.
That's the best you can do?
Yeah, I don't recall the timing.
Okay. And did you ever meet Shepard Fairey?
I did not.
Or were you involved in his travel arrangements coming into the city?
I was not.
Did you confer with anybody within Bedrock Financial or the business about the circumstances under which this artwork was going to be going up? Whether
No.
it was paid for or not?
No, I have no knowledge about that.
Nothing?
Correct, nothing.
Okay. I have nothing else.
Cross-examine.
Thank you, Judge. Mr. Gressens, my name is Bradley Friedman. Thank you for being here today. Mr. Gressens, can you testify to anything at all except the fact that you sent an email to a police officer that you're holding in your hands? Anything at all having to do with this case besides sending that email?
Well, objection. Now that asks him to form a conclusion about what he might know that has anything to do with this case.
I'm not sure I understand.
Well, for example, commissioning those pieces of artwork for Frank Shepard, those are similar to the illegal tags. That has something to do with the case. The date that he sent the email has something to do with the case because that's reflective of the charging time frame. So there's things that have to do with the case that he may not appreciate. So to ask him the question, what do you have to do that has anything to do with the case, is asking him to speculate or form a conclusion, because he wouldn't
I don't think
know.
that was the question.
It wasn't
The question was, do you know, well, ask the question again.
Your Honor, I can rephrase it and be more direct if the court would like. Mr. Gressens, do you manage or have anything whatsoever to do with a property located at 9201 East Jefferson in the city of Detroit?
I do not.
Do you manage or have anything whatsoever to do with a property located at 6801 East Jefferson in the city of Detroit?
No.
Do you have anything whatsoever to do with managing or otherwise a property located at 6431 East Jefferson in the city of Detroit?
No.
Do you have anything whatsoever to do with a property located at 2600-16 Gratiot Avenue in the city of Detroit?
No.
Do you have anything whatsoever in a managerial role or in any other way to do with a property located at 3510 Woodward Avenue in the city of Detroit?
No.
Same question relative to this address, 1509 Broadway in the city of Detroit.
No.
East Grand Boulevard and I-75 in the city of Detroit. Anything to do with that property at all?
I do not.
The area of Woodward and Endicott, do you have anything to do with any sort of building or appurtenance in that area?
I do not.
Do you have anything whatsoever, professionally or personally, to do with an address located at 14201 East Jefferson in the city of Detroit?
I do not.
Did you ever see Shepard Fairey putting any sort of artwork up on any of the properties I just asked you about?
I did not.
No further questions, Judge.
Can you redirect?
Yeah, out of all those addresses he read, you certainly didn't give Frank Shepard Fairey consent or permission to tag those, did you?
Objection, Judge. He just said that he never saw Frank Shepard Fairey and he had never had anything to do with those properties.
Different question.
Did you?
I have nothing to do with those properties, so
So
no,
you didn't give
I
them
wouldn't
any-
have been involved in those properties.
Right, so you would have given him no consent or telegraphed to anybody that he had consent, as you did for the three properties you mentioned, correct?
Good. Yeah, I had nothing to do with those properties, so
All right.
I can't speak to those properties.
All right. I didn't ask you that. You didn't give consent, did you, to Frank Shepard Fairey to tag those properties that he mentioned on cross-examination?
I was not involved in any consent for artwork on any of those other addresses that were
Okay.
mentioned.
Thank you.
Did you personally give Frank Shepard Fairey consent to do artwork on One Campus Marcius?
No.
Did you personally give consent to Shepard Fairey to do artwork on 1505 the Woodward Water Tower?
I did not.
Thank you. Nothing further, Judge.
Thank you, sir. You missed that.
People call Rebecca McKay.
Please give your name, going to the court.
REBECCA, McKay, McKay.
Please raise your right hand. Swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do.
Thank you. Please have a seat. You may begin when you're ready.
Would you tell us your name and your occupation, please?
Sergeant Rebecca McKay. I am a police officer with the City of Detroit.
And what is your rank?
Sergeant,
And can you tell us how long you've been a member of the Detroit Police Department.
19 years.
And can you tell us some of the assignments you've had during that 19-year period?
I've worked patrol, I've worked narcotics, and currently I'm assigned to the General Assignment Unit investigating crimes of the quality of life issues, basically.
And that would be, you had been on the copper theft task force, for example.
Yes.
And so you investigate graffiti,
Yes.
scrapping, a whole host of quality of life offenses.
That's correct.
All right. What is the name of the squad that you manage?
The General Assignment Unit.
All right. How long have you been investigating graffiti type offenses?
Since June of 2014.
Okay. And can you tell us approximately how many investigations you have conducted?
Over 40.
And have you done research and reading in this area?
Yes.
Have you conferred with other officers?
Yes.
Can you tell us if you have interviewed individuals charged with graffiti or malicious destruction of property involving graffiti?
Yes.
Approximately how many?
At least 20.
All right. And have you noticed certainly recurring patterns in those graffiti offenses and offenders?
Objection, Judge. It's vague, or certainly it calls for speculation.
I'm not asking her to speculate. I'm asking her if she's, in the course of her experience in investigating graffiti offenses and her experience with graffiti offenders, are there certain recurring patterns of behavior and offending?
I don't know how that would be relevant to this defendant, though.
I anticipate that she would say that one of the recurring patterns is signature works. That
Maybe we need to rephrase your question.
Have you, in the course of your investigation, noticed any recurring patterns on the images themselves that go up on buildings?
It's been my experience that typically graffiti vandals or artists tend to paint a name or a set of words that are attached to them in some way.
Okay. And in the 40 or so investigations, have you found that to be true?
Yes.
Now, in the course of your duties, did you investigate a one Frank Shepard Fairey?
Yes.
And do you see that person in court?
I do, seated at defense table next to his counsel.
May the record reflect, Your Honor, that the witness has identified the defendant.
So noted.
Now, in what are some of the other words besides graffiti that's used to describe the defacing or vandalizing of certain buildings?
Objection, relevancy.
Over.
Tagging?
Okay. And in your investigations, is there a difference between artwork that goes up by way of consent of the property owner and those that do not?
Yes.
How would you explain that to us?
Well, when a piece of artwork is commissioned or an individual has permission from the owner of a building to put a piece of artwork up, I would consider that art. When an individual takes it upon themselves to place what they believe is art on someone else's property without their permission, without their consent, and without being commissioned, it's vandalism.
All right. And in your investigations, do you keep that distinction in mind in terms of your your work?
Objection, Judge Leading.
Absolutely.
Now, did you become aware of Frank Shepard Fairey, defendant you have identified, coming into the city of Detroit to do artwork?
I did.
And how did that come to your attention?
There was a news story. I believe it was aired on May
Objection,
19th.
Judge. It's hearsay.
Overruled, not offer for the truth of the matter,
Right.
sir, but offer to explain how the defendant came to their attention.
Yes.
Proceed.
There was a news story in regard to an artist that was coming to town by the name of Shepard Fairey.
All right. Can you give me the time frame that you were aware that Mr. Shepard was in the city?
I was made aware of his existence through that news story on the 19th. It's my understanding that he had arrived the weekend before.
All right. Now, and what did you,
May.
and what did, what were you aware of or made aware of that he was coming in the city for?
He was commissioned by,
Judge, I believe that was asked and answered.
he was commissioned by Bedrock Properties to do murals.
And who is Laura Split?
She's one of the detectives that works on my crew.
All right. And you were aware of the email that was sent to her
Yes.
by Mr. Gersons?
Yes.
Now, did you become aware at some point of tags or the vandalization of property going up that was not commissioned or not consented to?
Yes.
When did you become aware of that?
On the 22nd of May.
All right. And was that brought to your attention?
It was brought to my attention.
All right. And how did you, or how was it connected that there was other tags? How did that connect with the Frank Shepard Fairey?
Objection, Judge. Speculation.
As I explained earlier, graffiti vandals or artists typically have a signature or something that is always included in their piece of art. In these particular cases, Mr. Fairey uses an icon, Obey Giant, and in several of these illegal tags that we were able to locate across the city, this iconic Obey Giant was part of the piece of vandalism.
All right. Now, before you went out looking for other tags on properties that where there was no consent, did you do any research on Frank Shepard Fairey at all?
I did.
What did you do?
I Googled his name,
Okay.
and I did some research on his art, and that's when I became aware of the different pieces that he is associated with.
All right. Now, when you Googled him, was there a video that had been posted?
There was a video posted on YouTube.
All right.
Object as to relevancy, Judge, of a video posted on YouTube.
Well, Your Honor, I intend to play the video. I'm going to move for its admission into evidence because it is a 20-minute video of Frank Shepard Fairey describing his images, describing how he tags.
Why wouldn't that be relevant?
Judge, I think that there's certainly a lack of foundation for this witness to lay the foundation for a YouTube video and speak to its veracity or truthfulness for purposes of the court allowing it in. I think that this witness in no way can provide an accurate foundation.
That would go to whatever weight I am to attribute to it, not its admissibility. She can testify as to what her investigation entailed and what she used. The best evidence would be the video itself. I guess if that's admitted, I have an opportunity to view that and attribute whatever weight should be attributed to it.
Assuming Your Honor finds it's admissible.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Thank you.
And the video, did you cause that to be recorded on a disc?
Yes,
All right. And have you watched it have you watched it multiple times?
yes,
All right. And is it a video showing Frank Shepard Fairey?
it is.
And is he talking throughout the whole video?
He is.
Just one moment.
Here we can set it up, or
I'm sorry?
I'm going to object again.
What's your objection?
Your Honor, again, I think there's a lack of foundation. If the prosecutor intends to show the court a 20-minute video showing all sorts of things that might happen within a 20-minute time period, I would ask for the purpose of the video being shown to the court that would cause reliability of this witness's testimony.
And as I stated before, it goes to whatever weight I'm to attribute it, not its admissibility. If this is what she used in her investigation and led her to their client, then so be it. It's not offered for, I guess at this point, for the truth of the matter asserted, but whatever investigative tool she used to reach whatever conclusions that she reached. Once admitted, I'll have an opportunity to observe this video and to determine what weight should be attributed to it, and if this is the defendant or the defendant's work. So once again, your objection is overruled. You may proceed.
Your Honor, we have the disc in the player. I'm going to just have the sleeve marked as Exhibit 2. Exhibit 2. Your Honor, we've been provided with the card here, and this laptop is not working to project this on the screen. So the choices would be we could play it on Your Honor's laptop and we could crowd around, or if we could have a few more minutes to get another laptop, we might be able to project it.
Will it play on the laptop?
Yes.
Without the big screen, I can come down and look at the laptop.
Your Honor, I believe it's the laptop is the issue. It won't play on this
Oh,
laptop.
no. Okay, I just asked if it plays on
I'm
the
sorry.
laptop. So we need another laptop. I'm not hooked up right here.
Okay.
This is just in the way.
Okay.
Just 5 minutes.
If we just could take 5 minutes, then we'll get another one.
Okay.
All right.
The court will be in recess in this case, 5 minutes. We have anything else ready? With the podium. Podium, what am
But then again, you just have a private army, you know, a team. Quit it. Yeah.
Hi, how are you?
She works, we're in the same office. Yes, we're in.
Tina Rodriguez? Tina Rodriguez.